Hi, good morning. This is Cynthia. Thank you for watching my channel. Today I want to tell you about 3 things that I bought before I retired, knowing that that would happen, and I wanted good sturdy things that would help me. And they sort of continue to pay me back. They weren't cheap, but I'm very happy that I did that. The first one is a drain auger. And I will show you a picture. I have it up on my computer. There, do you see that? That's a drain auger. Now, the reason that I bought that was I live in an old house. My house is 75 years old. And of course, one of the things we know about old houses is they tend to have plumbing problems. In my case, that's not any different, but actually a very simple thing happens about once a year, and that is that about 22 feet from the drain out, from the drain cap, clean out cap, there's a clog that forms, and then it backs up first the drain in the basement, and then it will come up into the sink. And there's actually 2 different avenues for that. And so fortunately, the bathroom is not connected to the same way that the kitchen is. So that's helpful. But at any rate, what happened was, this is the incident that happened that made me decide to buy one. And that is that it's hard to find good, honest people to come and do things for you in your house. And so I had asked around the neighbors and asking them if they knew anybody who was a local person who didn't charge much money and might come over and clean out this drain for me. And so I got a couple of names, and so I called the first guy and I told him what the problem was. And he said, yeah, he thought that he could fix that. And I said, okay, well, how much do you think that would cost? And he said, well, I don't like to, give you prices over the phone, but I think probably about $150. And I said, okay, good. All right. I mean, I think that's a heck of a lot of money for half an hour's worth of work, but unfortunately, that's the kind of stuff that they charge and what they do. So as it happened that day, my daughter was here. My daughter and grandson lived with me at that time. And so I left $150 in cash, which I thought would make the plumber happy. And I left that, and my daughter said that, okay, she would take care of that because she was there. So he came over, and I think he brought another guy with him. And indeed, he took his auger down to the basement and opened up the drain access. And I was glad that he did that, because he also put grease around it so I can still undo it. Before I couldn't. And he proceeded to clean out the drain. And he said, when he was finished, he said to my daughter, oh, well, yeah, that was really hard. I had to run that drain auger snake all the way out to the street. And so I want $200. And my daughter said, well, I'm sorry, but my mom only left $150. Would you take this? And he said, okay, I'll take $150. And a few days later, I get a phone call from this guy. And I did not answer the phone call because I know what he wanted. He wanted me to pay him for more money, and I felt like I'd paid him far too much to begin with. So that was my run-in with cleaning out the drain, and that seems to happen about once a year. There's a spot in the drain, 22 feet from the clean out, that clogs up. I don't know why that is. That's inside underneath. It's not even to the drain in the center of the floor. But it will clog up, and it's clogged up a couple of times. So I'm looking at, gosh, I don't want to be paying somebody minimum $200, and of course the price goes up and up. And I don't like dealing with dishonest people, and I felt like this guy was being dishonest because he said it was he used 100 feet, and it's not 100 feet. It's like 75 feet to the street, and so he was making it sound bigger than it was to say that he needed more money because they charge you by the foot. Apparently he didn't say that, but that's, I think, what he was thinking. So I decided I didn't want that to happen again, and it seemed like a pretty easy process, really. And so eventually, and before I ended up having to retire, I bought a drain auger. Now this one is actually too big for me. I can't move it very well or carry it. It's on wheels, but I have to leave it set up in the basement because there's no way that I can pull it up the stairs. It probably weighs, I mean, I can handle 40 or 50 pounds, but this must weigh 75 or 100. It's very heavy. It's got a 1/2-inch cable. You can buy them at different lengths, and it's 75 feet long, so it ought to be fine. And indeed, this clog that happens isn't that far into the system. So every time I use that auger, I save myself $200, let's say. So the auger cost, I had a 10% off coupon from Home Depot. You can buy them cheaper than this even now. And then also Ohio has a 2-week period in the summer where they don't charge sales tax. So I ended up getting, I think, about $75 off the total. So it cost just about $300. And you have to put it on a Home Depot card, so I put it on the card, and then 3 days later I went back and paid it off. So I didn't charge it. I didn't pay any interest either. So I have that. So I showed you the drain auger. And then the other 2 items that I bought were, and I can't find them on Home Depot. I don't know if the company doesn't exist anymore or whatever, but I bought a lawnmower because my neighbor across the street had this cute little Toro lawnmower, and I don't have a big yard. And when I moved in, I tried to find somebody to come and mow it, and first of all, no one was available. Everybody was full. They didn't have any room for another client, number one. And number two, they wanted like $60 to mow. The front part of my house is maybe 20 by 30, not even, probably about that. And then the back is 20 by 40, very small patches of grass. And these guys wanted $60, $70. So if you times that by 2 times a month, which is the minimum, then the grass grows a lot in the summertime. There's a lot of rain in Ohio and stuff like that. So you're talking $120 a month just to have somebody come mow your lawn. So I like the drain auger. Isn't that much effort, although my daughter made me promise that I would only use it when she was there because it's a lot to handle. I mean, it's not terribly easy. It is easy, but you have to there's kind of a technique to it. And it's a little dangerous. But I save all that money, right? And so then with the lawnmower, it was a lithium battery lawnmower, which is great because I don't have to ever go and buy gas, or worry with that, store it, all that kind of stuff. So I really like that, and it's good exercise. So in the summertime, I mow my lawn at least twice a month, and actually I kind of feel like it's easier to do it every week because then it's not ever hard to mow the lawn. It's still quite short. So good exercise saves me, gosh, over $1,000 a year just because I'm not paying somebody else, and it keeps me in shape. So that's a good thing. As you age, that's super important to hang on to all those things that you have been able to do, and you want to continue to be able to do them. And then the other thing that I bought was a snowblower. And that was because it was hard to find somebody around here that would just show up. My other neighborhood, guys would just show up at the door. My son would, or one of my son's friends would come and snowblow the driveway, and I'd give him $20, and he was more than happy, because he was saying, no, I'll do it for you for free. So I'm like, no, I want to give you some money. So when I moved over here to this house, and I still had a very long driveway because my garage is in the back. So my driveway is like 70, 80 feet long, which is ridiculous. But with I've tried to shovel it by hand, and it's exhausting, and it takes hours, and it's great exercise, but I don't want to work that hard. So I bought this snowblower, and it's also both of the lawnmower and the snowblower are Toro, and they have these great little lithium batteries with handles on them, and I have a charger, and because I have two devices, I have two batteries so that I can use the same battery for each of the machines, and so I always have a backup. So I always keep one charged. Right now we're going to have snow, so I have my snowblower all set up, and I'll put rock salt out there so there's no ice. And we're supposed to get, gosh, one estimate was 6 to 9 inches. Another estimate now, it's maybe saying 1 inch or 2 inches, or it could be 4. I mean, you just don't know. And 2 inches is not hard to snow blow. 3 inches, 4 gets a little harder. And if it snows, say on Sunday all day, I'll probably snow blow it 3 times, because if it gets too high, then it gets much more difficult. And then also having the 2 lithium batteries is fabulous, because if I were working really hard to snow blow the driveway, and the battery died, then I can just go get the other one that's already charged. So it works out really, really great. If you can do that, on Amazon, I just pulled up examples of things that looked similar to what I bought. These are both much less expensive than what I bought. What I bought was, the snowblower was $700, and the lawnmower was not much less than that. So these the cordless snowblower is at $199, and the Lawn Master cordless lawnmower was $196. So I don't know if these are better or worse, but I just wanted to show you what those were. So those 3 things have saved me so much money, and help me to stay fit, and help me to keep my yard looking nice at all times. Now, so I highly recommend those things, especially, of course, if you live where it snows. If you don't, it's not a problem, but you can still get the lawnmower and possibly a drain auger. I mean, I don't know that that's too much of a problem in a lot of houses, but it is in a 75-year-old house. So thank you for listening, and I hope that's helpful. And I will see you on the next one. Thanks so much.